So you're doing the tour study. Well, the reason we put this study together is because many students have never really looked in the Bible. They don't know what's in the Bible. They're very unfamiliar with it. And when they look at it, it's just a big book. And so this gives you an overview of what's in the Bible. If you could flip through the pages really quickly, what's really in there? We broke it up in 8 sections. I encourage you to have a physical Bible with you while you're going through this. And when you refer to a section, just kind of hold the section like this and show them this is the history section or this is the gospel section. So they're seeing it and feeling it and knowing, okay, this is what they're talking about. This will help a lot as you move forward for them to just be familiar with what is in the Bible. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so here we are. We're about to play and prepare the tour study from the Bible series on Thrive Studies. And we're going to show you how to do that really quickly. So here's the study. This is how we printed it all out, and this is what it looks like. And we're going to start now cutting it up and preparing it. All right, so what we've got here, we've already cut some of them up, but you got the tour sheet, the front page, it tells you what the study's about. On the back, it's got some instructions. When you print this, you need to print it front and back, all pages. On the back, it's got how to prepare the study. In the next sheet, it's got the questions, how you walk through the questions with your students once you have it all prepared. And then you can see on the back, it's got some competition questions for the end for the game. And then you got the board sheets that'll make the board for the game. And then you've got these sheets, which we're cutting up right now, which have front and back. On the front, it's got pictures. On the back, it's got some writing. Okay, so what you'll have now is these 3 sheets in the timeline that are spread out together, just like this. And the first one's over here, 2000 BC, and then this is the 1000 BC, and then this is the New Testament one. So that's how it's spread out. And then you got these guys that you've cut out, and you're gonna spread these out one per person, or spread them out equally. So he'll have one, I'll have one, he'll have one. There are 3 of us playing this game, and you'll just spread them out like this. Doesn't matter who's got what. Everybody gets their cards. Okay, next you're just going to start going through the questions. This is the page you will have in front of you, and question number 1 talks about the timeline. And it says the Bible is one big story told with a lot of little stories. You read about it and you're asking what's the event that separates these 2 things, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And that event is right here. It's Jesus' life. So you're giving your people an overview of what the Bible is about. It's really about Jesus' life. That's what separates the Old Testament from the New Testament. You keep asking questions, and the answers are right here. You go through these questions, which are basically just about the timeline. So just go through those questions and just have a conversation about it. You don't yet use these cards. You just talk about the timeline first. Next, you're going to step into the key sections of the Bible. Now, this is the main part of the game. All right, so next what you do is you pull out, you start with this one, you start with the law over on this side, and you say, who's got the one that says law, the card that says law? So everybody's looking at their card. Who's got it? William's got it. All right, so William says, and all of this, by the way, is written right here on your instructions. So if you don't quite get it, just read through this. It'll tell you exactly what to do. So William asks, what do you think this section's about? He's asking the table, so go ahead.
What do you guys think this section is about?
And he's showing us the picture?
Yeah.
Law. So we say, I think it's about law. I think it's about Adam. I think it's about Moses. And Gavin chimes in.
I think it's about rules.
All right. So they talk about what they think it's about. They might say, I think that's about the beginning of the Bible, when God created people. Maybe that's about when they had the 10 Commandments. And we say those things. We just kind of give an overview of what we think that section is about. And then William looks at the back of his card, and he just reads what is on there that hasn't been said. So he might just read the whole paragraph, even if it has been said. So go ahead and read it.
This section contains the story of the creation of the world. It tells about how God brought his people from slavery into his own land. It also contains a long list of rules that God gave his own people.
All right, so the student, is just reading it, telling what it says, and as a result, everybody kind of gets an overview of that's what this section is about. Now, you might, as a leader, add a few more things if you want to, but keep in mind, each of these cards, there's 8 of them, should only take about 2 minutes each. Do not spend a whole lot of time on each of these things because they add up. 2 minutes times 8 is 16 minutes. You're putting about 16 to 20 minutes into this section. Be careful not to spend too much time on each card. When that's done, you say, okay, who's got the one that says history? Most likely, there are two that say history. You want to pick the one that's the Old Testament, the one that says Joshua. So, and you can see right here, by the way, in each of these, it has the books of the Bible that are a part of this section, and it's got a key person to just kind of give them a face to put on this section. So Gavin takes it and he says, just like it says right here.
What do you think this section's about?
Exactly. And so everyone at the table says, this is what I think it's about. And they chime in and they talk about it. Try to encourage conversation. Try to encourage people to think, tell what they think this is about. After you've had a couple minutes of that, Gavin reads it.
This section tells about the rise and fall of the nation of Israel. It tells about the lives of a bunch of kings, including the richest and wisest man in the world.
When he finishes that, he puts it down. You might want to remind your students there's going to be a quiz at the end of this. You're going to have an opportunity, or a competition. Don't call it a quiz, call it a competition, especially if you're working with guys. So they're going to want to pay attention and listen. You just keep doing that in each one of those. Who's got poetry? I do. So I talk about, I ask a question, I read it, I put it down. Who's got prophets? I do. I talk about it, I read it, I put it down. Just keep going. Who's got the gospel? History is the New Testament history. Letters, that's me. Prophecy, you do the same thing with all of those. What you got here when you're done is you got a visual perspective of the whole Bible. You got, on these you have the little red line, which shows in the Bible what section that is if you're looking at a real paper Bible. And you've also got a kind of a face to connect with it, and a story if you kind of told the story a little bit about each of these characters in those sections of the Bible. All right, now when you get down, you'll be down to about here. Turn the page over, and you got the apply section. So now you're going to apply it to your life. The first question is, if you start reading the Bible for yourself, where should you start? It has some suggestions here that you can tell them, but ask them first. See what they think. We think a good place is the Gospel of John right here. Keep asking the apply questions, and then if you have time, you can do the competition. And this is why I would want you to quickly go through these, because you got the competition, and basically you just read through these questions and you see who knows them. This section contains a lot of songs written to God. See who knows that when they get a point if they get it right. It's poetry, by the way. That's the game. When you're done, you're done. But what you've done is you've given your students an overview of what's in the Bible, which for many of them, there's no clue. It's just a big book that they're unfamiliar with. Thanks a lot for playing.